back on the air in the studio. It's good to be in the studio. I feel like a Galaxy game. That's right. It's a goal. How does that announcer hold that goal for so long? That guy is unbelievable. You know, he's like the Vin Scully of professional soccer announcing. He can hit that goal, and he can hold that thing like an opera singer for hours. Anyhow, it's good to be back in the studio with you. The Brown Beauty is back on duty, Jesse Terrero. It's always good to be broadcasting live from the studio here at thepowerofvoices.com. I love doing remote stuff, but, you know, it's nothing like sitting down in a comfortable chair with a great microphone and the great studio equipment that we have lined up for you and the technology. We can bring in all kinds of cool stuff coming in here and kind of make things work. And it's always good to be with my pal, Lee Baby Michaels. Yes. Hey, no, seriously, man, I'll set you up with Krispy Kreme, girl. It's no problem. I will set you up with Krispy Kreme, girl. I mean, come on now, or a patty pizza. I'll do it. I promise. I want you to know that. I'm here for you, brother.
Jesse, I appreciate all your wonderful, warm thoughts, but no thanks. I pass.
I'll buy that.
If you see me in the woods fighting a bear, help the bear. Don't help me.
You want me to get you that little Speedo that you can wear on South Beach, Florida? I'll get that for you. I'll order it tonight.
No.
You see, you try to do something good for the guy, I tell you. Anyway, it's good to be back with you. It's good to be here broadcasting live from the community to the world, on the air and everywhere. It's the Jesse T Show, live at 5, right here from 5 to 6, Monday through Friday. And we are going to be going out to Washington, D.C., Virginia, in a short minute or so. And we're going to try to hook up with our guy, Joshua Macias. And Joshua Macias is the chairperson for the organization called Veterans for Trump Organization. And they did a big roundtable in Washington, D.C. This afternoon, their time. It's already nighttime in Washington, 3 hours ahead of us here, just a little after 5 o'clock on the Pacific Coast in beautiful Southern California. Kind of a dreary, kind of humid day today. In fact, this might be him right here. You might want to take this might be him right here. Is this him? You want to listen to that phone? That might be him. Okay, we've got like multiple phones going on here. You see what I'm saying? Is he on that line?
Yeah.
Okay, he's on that line. Can we play that little video? Anyhow, I just wanted to kind of say, hey, it's good to be here. A little bit humid today in Southern California, but it is a good day, any day that we're together here on the Power of Voices. Download our free app to your Apple or your Android, and then your main line into us to see all our great programs. And all of our terrific, we've got some great hosts, very eccentric programming here. Lots of cool stuff, though. You got to go to our website at www.thepowerofvoices.com and check it out. A program for everybody's flavor. Yeah, and you're with my flavor right now here on the Jesse T Show. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get going right here at www.thepowervoices.com, facebook.com/Jesse Terrero, and facebook.com/The Power of Voices, YouTube Live, and everywhere else in the world. We are here. What we're going to do right now is we're gonna go out to a video that came to us here about a roundtable. We're going to go out to a video for a roundtable that just took place this morning, this afternoon in the East Coast in Washington. Go ahead. You can kind of get that cord. We're all tangled up here in cords and stuff. It's like this is like the giant maze. Look what we're doing here, folks. I mean, it's like this is like a traffic jam of cords here. See, I'm going to unplug this cord here. Right. So, I leave this one here. Are we sure we got it? Yeah. Okay. This is, all right, you sure? Wind the cord around. Yes, this is the Abbott and Costello show. Right, thank you. Okay, yes. Now I'm glad we got uncorded. Whew, I was getting confused there for a second. Yes, but that's okay. We're going to hook this up here, and you can catch it now. Go to our live feed right here at YouTube Live, and also live stream and Facebook Live, both Power Voices and, of course, Jesse Torero. And you can check that up as Lee is setting that up for us right here. Anyway, this was a roundtable that took place. I want to kind of give you some feed, and we're going to let this go a little bit. And then we got Joshua Macias, who's already on the line, just admiring our wonderful technical ability. Right, Joshua? I
feel bad, man, because I sent you a Periscope, so I understand how the video context is. It's the future and where we're all moving to, man. It's all good.
It's all good. Joshua Macias, everybody, the chairperson for Veterans for Trump Coalition, and we're going to talk a little bit about that here. But let's play that video right now and get a little piece of that and see. This is the first time I've seen it, so we'll watch it together for the first time. So go ahead.
Come on, man, make it live.
Yeah, go ahead and hit that, Lee, and bring that up, and we'll make that happen. All right.
Came from the primary. Jay, say hi. We're live with Periscope.
Hey, what's going on? Here we are, Veterans Roundtable, and we're going to be talking about the key issues that we're hoping this next administration can address for not only our veterans within the VA, any of the issues that basically our veterans think are important and will have both an immediate impact and a long-term impact that those of us who represent this room feel should be addressed. And hopefully this next administration, the Trump-Pence team, will take care of to make sure that not only the wars that we will fight in the future are addressed in a proper manner and have the resources to execute, but our veterans like myself and many in this room that have fought in prior wars will be taken care of and have the resources that they can go forward and flourish. So,
right on, Jay. And we have, as you can see down here, we have Chuck Smith. Chuck Smith and Quinn Lee.
Yes, Quinn.
Why don't you tell us what we're doing down here? This is Periscope Live. Chuck, why don't you pass it over to Quinn?
All right, okay. There you go. Quinn, what are we doing here?
What are we doing here is we are meeting with Governor Mike Pence today to be able to share our concerns about the Veterans Department and as veterans of all the issues that are facing the fabric of our country right now and the direction of where a Trump-Pence administration could potentially take us into this new America to make America great again.
Absolutely, and this is an historic moment, one that we hope will be repeated year after year after year to get this country back on the track that it should be on. So important to have all of our veterans, all of our people who have committed themselves not just to the country but to the Constitution, sitting around answering the questions, asking the questions that are going to get us all back on track. So thank you all, and God bless. Okay.
All right, guys. All right. So we're here Periscope and live, letting everybody know what we're up to. Telling all of our teams and across the country, the Veterans Roundtable that we have here. You can see our press corps also behind the scenes.
A quick note for you. When you ask a question, please state your name first because we can't see your name tags from this way, but Governor Pence can see them. So if you can just say your name really.
All right, so what we got going on here, we have a roundtable that took effect earlier today, East Coast time, and we have Joshua Macias on with us live right now. Joshua, tell us a little bit about what we were watching, and you were introducing some of the gentlemen there in the roundtable. Fill us in on some of the details of what happened.
It was a great event. Thanks again, Jesse, for bringing me on board. It's be able to share about this. What a great event we had with Governor Pence and with 26 of some of the finest Americans in that room. It was just a great opportunity to be there. On the USS Battleship Wisconsin, right there at the Nauticus Museum in good old Norfolk, Virginia, representing one of the 13 military bases, being Navy, Army, Marine Corps, and Air Force. We encompass a large body of the military force down here. So these men were all the way from an E-4 that just got out from Afghanistan all the way to Rear Admiral, as you saw with Admiral Kubik, right next to Governor Pence. And we had two admirals there as well, both colonels, majors, everything you can encompass. Had about 10 officers and we had 16 enlisted or so, chiefs and various. All of us getting together, they had requested an assistance for myself for pulling together a panel to be able to speak about veteran issues and to meet with Governor Pence and have a one-on-one intimate conversation about the issues that we see in our sphere of influence, in our circles, in our communities, and also how it ties in with the military. Of course, these are career JAG officers like Chuck Smith, who's going for lieutenant governor elect. We have Dr. Quinn, who is, like myself, served in rank and file in the enlisted community. And then to the Admiral Kubik, as you know very well, has been on the show a few times, who took Baghdad. So a vast array, as well as with Jason Redmond, who is right next to me. He's the CEO of Wounded Wear, organization that's helping heal the community with PTSD and TBI. He went through a traumatic event there overseas as well. So you can see that. So these men have come together to be able to speak about the issues that we're dealing with today and also be able to get it out there about the VA as well as the medical needs for the community with those who've gone through PTSD, all in all to ensure that we're not just talking about 22 awareness, but actually doing something about it.
So Joshua, the event took place earlier today at East Coast time, and it looked like it was a packed house. By the way, we do have Admiral Kubik. He's going to be up here on the line in about 10 or 15 seconds with us. This is going to stem for a great conversation. Admiral, are you there with us?
I am, Jesse. Thanks for inviting me back.
And I have Joshua on the other line, so hopefully you guys can hear each other. I believe you can.
I can. Technology's doing a great job. Hello, sir. Good to see you again.
Hey, good to see you. Listen to you, Joshua. I hear you loud and clear.
I'd like to say hi to a couple of folks who are watching us. There is a gentleman by the name of Alan Mendelson, and Alan Mendelson has been on local TV here for a number of years on Channel 7, 4, 2, 5, all the major channels, and he's watching the show right now. So that's some good output there. He's got a very large following. Also like to say hi to Laura Angela and Victor Navidad and Stephen Smith, just 4 or 5 people who are chiming in with us here in Southern California. It's great to see all this stuff happening on the East Coast. And tell us, Admiral, how did the event shape up? Joshua was giving us the kind of lowdown in the beginning of it. How did the conversation go?
Well, I think it went very well. Governor Pence actually, this wasn't on his schedule. He made an effort to come to Norfolk on his way to a rally tonight in Williamsburg, Virginia. And he came in very gracious, went around and introduced himself personally to everyone, shook their hand, came back and made a few introductory remarks, primarily emphasizing the total commitment that he and Donald Trump have to taking care of our veterans, to reforming the system, and doing whatever management actions are necessary to fix the VA. And after those opening remarks, he was more interested in what the attendees had to say, so he just basically took questions from the room, probably for the next 40 or 45 minutes, and it was a really good face-to-face meeting with hopefully the next Vice President of the United States.
In terms of some of the discussions that you were talking about, what were some of the key issues that you were trying to really get across to Governor Pence? Was it the issues that have to do with our veterans coming back home and some of the care that they're getting, or was it issues about increasing our military preparedness? What were some of the key topics?
I think most of the folks had questions about the VA, about the veterans' care. Concerns about treatment for mental health, for PTSD, and also about the commitment to reform the system. And I think the conversation went to a lot of different areas. And Governor Pence was quick to point out that they would be focusing on the veteran as opposed to on the bureaucracy, and that if people couldn't get treated in the veterans hospital, they could go off to the private sector. But he was also very clear in saying that taking care of our veterans is a government's responsibility. It's not an entitlement. It's an earned benefit. And therefore, he and Mr. Trump are committed to keeping this as a government entity, but to reforming it to make it responsive to the veterans. He's not thinking at all of privatizing it, but using private care as necessary for overflow patients.
And now, folks, Joshua Macias, he's very, very involved in Veterans for Trump Coalition. In fact, he's the chairperson, and he's very involved with veterans' health and welfare and getting our veterans the right tools. And one of the things that you say to me all the time, Joshua, is giving them a new mission. And can you explain a little bit of what that means to a veteran coming back from one of our wars?
Well, certainly, Jesse. So, in our psyche, we come back from taking out the tango, taking out the combatant. We come back as oath keepers who have made a decision and were willing to sacrifice all on the battlefield, on the front, and the sea, wherever it was that we needed to serve. And in doing so, we come back to, okay, what is the next thing for us to do? It's not the 9 to 5, because for us if you were to look at psychology and Maslow's hierarchy of needs, look into my professor hat for a second here. Once you get past the needs of the body, you go into the needs of the mind, the soul, and the spirit, the deeper things. And for us as patriotic Americans who are willing to do whatever it took to ensure that life, liberty, pursuit of happiness was there for all across the world, and into some really harsh areas of the world, as you can think through third world countries and whatnot, and those who are now failed states like Libya, we come back having seen so much, both the best and the worst of the world. And how do you process that? Where do you place it? What is the next thing for you to do after that? If you're a Marine recon sniper and you come back and you go to school to be an accountant, that's one thing, okay? Counting beans and doing that next job, it may cover the needs for the upper areas of Maslow's hierarchy. But when you get into deeper spiritual concerns, the veteran looks to his left and looks to his right in a foxhole, and that's his brother, irregardless of race, creed, or color, religion. That's someone who's there to cover his six and protect him, and you're there to do the same with your brothers, with those who are willing to serve and sacrifice alongside with you. And there's a huge need amongst our communities to re-engage the veteran and give them that next mission, whether it's in public service, whether it's in helping in the community, giving them that social entrepreneurship to help them to grow and engage in their community again, to continue to serve. Because for us, it's not a time where we stop being an oath. We put down our oath. We are oath keepers. We've maintained this oath, and then we'll go with us till the days that we are no longer breathing.
One of the interesting topics that we touch on here a lot when we start talking about veterans, obviously the corruption of the VA and where they're letting down a lot of our veterans in the last 20, 25 years, and the corruption that took place earlier in this year with the head of the VA coming down on charges and all that stuff that took place. They haven't been doing too good of a job at what you just elicited to us. They have not been able to take those important factors and try to help our veterans in a way. Admiral, how do we stop the corruption that's taking place in the VA and that has taken place? It's almost like generational corruption. How do we get a handle on that, Admiral?
I think Governor Pence was very clear. He said that we're going to have a new chief executive who's coming from the business world, and they're committed to removing, if necessary, layers of top management and replacing them, and then working down to the actual caregivers and making sure that the medical people, the people who are treating the vets, are empowered to do the right job the right way. So I think what they're saying here is that it's going to basically take a massive shakeup to be able to make progress, and if that's what it takes, they're committed to doing it.
When you look at it from a command standpoint, and you're an admiral and you're out there commanding men and women and asking them to do certain things that are in a lot of ways beyond our human capacity, the layperson to understand, but they're trained to do that. And then they come home. That's got to be very disturbing to see how they're treated here after the sacrifice that they've made there. Are we going to be able to make that personal aspect to them? Because the VA is such a bureaucratic entity, that personal aspect seems to have fallen by the wayside.
Right, and I think that's one of the reforms. It's the idea that you don't, have the veteran coming back, you discharge them, give them their DD-214, and then they're on their own with the VA. I think they're talking about a very definite handoff, and a handoff that also considers the needs of the family. It used to be that coming back from deployment as Navy Seabees, we deployed all the time. We thought the best thing for our troops was to get them home as quickly as possible when their tour was up, and get them back with their families. What we learned, after the Iraq War, was that they really needed, several days in theater but out of the combat area to decompress, to talk about what's happened, and to prepare themselves for the reentry. So it requires commanders to think about their troops in a different way, and to think about the handoff and the reintroduction with the family, because we even have families that have suffered from PTSD, the prolonged stress of having someone gone. So it's a completely different mindset, Jesse, and I think it's going to take completely different management to be able to institutionalize that within the VA.
Is it just a matter of money, gentlemen? Is it just a matter of throwing money at the situation here that we have to take care of our veterans? Is it a matter of education? Is it a matter of the social fabric completely being ripped apart and then